I sat on the couch, staring at the rejection email on my phone. My chest felt heavy, my fingers cold. We regret to inform you. That was it, the final blow. I had lost my job. Before I could even take a deep breath, Mom's voice cut through the silence like a blade. So, what now? She scoffed from the kitchen. Another failure to add to your long list. I swallowed hard, gripping my phone like it could protect me. She walked into the room, arms crossed, eyes sharp. I told you this would happen. You're lazy. You don't work hard enough. Look at your mates. Doing well, building their futures, and you? A grown adult sitting here, jobless, useless. I clenched my jaw, trying not to let her words sink in. But they did. They always did. You are pathetic, she continued, her voice rising. How do you plan to survive, huh? You'll end up broke, desperate, probably begging on the streets. And don't think you're staying here forever. I won't carry dead weight. My throat tightened. I wanted to defend myself, to say something, anything, but I knew better. Arguing never changed anything. So I just sat there, staring at my hands, feeling smaller with every word she threw at me. Her voice went on, but I had already stopped listening. I knew she was right about one thing. This was rock bottom, and I had no idea how to climb back up. My name is Daniel. I'm 26 years old, still living in my mother's house, and sometimes it feels like I'm trapped in a cage I can't escape. Mom has never believed in me. Not when I was in high school, not when I tried my best to find a job, and definitely not when I told her my dream, to own a bakery. She laughed when I first said it. A bakery? Do you think you're in some kind of movie? Do you even know what it takes to run a business? Stop dreaming and go find a real job, she said. I tried. I really did. But jobs never lasted. One company shut down. Another one let people go. The last one said I wasn't a good fit. Each time I came home feeling smaller. And each time, Mom made it worse. I told you so. You can't do anything right. You'll never make it in this world. I wanted to prove her wrong. I wanted to open my bakery. I could already see it in my head. The smell of fresh bread, the warm glow of the shop, people coming in and leaving with smiles. But dreams need money. And I had none. The only time I got close was when I baked at home. Cakes, cookies, and fresh loaves of bread. I wasn't perfect, but I was getting better. Some days I even sold a few, but Mom hated it. You're messing up my kitchen again, she'd yell. Clean this up. I don't want to see flour all over the place. Every time she shouted, something inside me faded, so I baked less and less. Now I barely even try. What's the point? I can't afford a bakery. I can't even afford to move out. Mom's words have crushed me so much that I don't know if I still believe in my own dream. And now, after losing yet another job, I wonder if she's right. Maybe I really am a failure. The days after losing my job felt like a blur. I stayed in my room most of the time, staring at the ceiling, doing nothing. I barely ate, barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard Mom's words over and over again. You are pathetic. You will never make it. Maybe she was right. Maybe I was just wasting my life. I thought about my bakery dream, but it felt far away now, like a story I once believed in but had outgrown. Then I thought about Grandpa. He was the only one who ever believed in me. I remembered the afternoons we spent together sitting on his old wooden porch, the smell of coffee in the air. You have something special, Danny, he used to say. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. He was the only one who encouraged my baking. When Mom scoffed, Grandpa smiled. Sometimes when I was really low, he'd slip a few bills into my hand. For your dream, he'd whisper. Don't give up. But he was gone now, and without him, I felt completely alone. Then one morning, a letter arrived. It had my name on it. I opened it slowly, my fingers shaky. It was from a lawyer. I was being called in for the reading of Grandpa's will. Before I could even process it, Mom snatched the letter from my hand and skimmed through it. Then she laughed. "Oh, please," she said. "It's just a formality. Everything's going to me and my brother. You're just there to sit and listen." She tossed the letter onto the table and walked away, humming to herself. I picked it back up and read it again, my heart pounding. I didn't know why, but something told me this wasn't just a formality. Something told me Grandpa had one last thing to say. On the day of the will reading, I sat in the lawyer's office, my hands making a fist bump on my lap. Mom was beside me, tapping her nails against the table, looking bored. My uncle sat across from us, arms crossed, a smug look on his face. He had already made peace with the fact that he and Mom would be splitting everything. The lawyer cleared his throat and began reading. At first, it was just small things, some money for charity, a few personal gifts for distant relatives. Mom barely listened, and Uncle leaned back in his chair, looking uninterested. Then the lawyer reached the big part. To my grandson, Daniel. I sat up. Mom's tapping stopped. Uncle raised an eyebrow. I leave my mansion, my savings of $750,000, and an additional $250,000 to help him start his bakery because I believe in him. The room fell silent. I blinked and said, "The mansion? $750,000? A bakery fund of $250,000? Mom's mouth fell open, her face turning pale. "What?" she snapped. "That's a mistake. That money should be mine. My father wouldn't do this." I turned to Uncle. His mouth was open, eyes narrowing at the lawyer. "And what about me?" he asked, his voice tight. The lawyer flipped a page and continued. To my son and daughter, I leave my 2 cabin houses in the countryside, one for each of them. Mom gasped like she had been slapped. Uncle shot forward in his seat. "That's it," he barked. "2 lousy cabins? While he gets everything?" He jabbed a finger in my direction. The lawyer didn't flinch. "That's what the will states." Mom turned to me, eyes burning. "You don't deserve this," she hissed. I barely heard her. My hands trembled as I gripped the edges of my chair. Grandpa had done this for me. Even after all the times I had doubted myself, after all the times I had wanted to give up, he had seen something in me. I wasn't worthless. I wasn't a failure. I was exactly who he believed I could be. We didn't leave the lawyer's office the same way we came. It was one hell of a ride. Back home, everything changed. Mom, who had spent years tearing me down, was suddenly sweet. Too sweet. "My dear, you must be so tired. Let me make you something to eat. You know, I always believed in you. That bakery idea? Genius. Families should stick together, don't you think? We should support each other," she said. Her voice was honey, but her eyes, still sharp, still calculating. I played along, nodding, smiling. When she sat next to me on the couch, patting my hand like a caring mother, I let her. When she gushed about how proud she was of me, I nodded. When she hinted over and over about how hard life had been for her, how a little help would make things easier, I pretended not to notice. Days passed, the smiles got tighter, the patience wore thinner. "So, about the mansion," she finally said one evening, swirling tea in her cup. "It's quite big for one person. Don't you think I should move in with you?" I sipped my tea. "I don't think that's a good idea." A flicker of irritation crossed her face, gone in a second. "Oh, don't be silly. It'll be fun. Just like old times." "Old times? The same old times where she made me feel like nothing?" I smiled. "I like living alone." The next day, she tried another tactic. "You know, money comes and goes. It's easy to lose everything if you're not careful." She sighed dramatically. "Maybe I should help you manage it, just to make sure you don't waste it all." I leaned back. "That's thoughtful, Mom. But Grandpa trusted me to handle it myself." Her grip on her cup tightened. Every excuse, every manipulation, every guilt trip, I brushed them off, and with each failure, her frustration grew. This wasn't about love. It was never about love. She didn't want me. She wanted control, and she had just lost it forever. A few days later, I was packing up my things when I found it, an old yellowed envelope tucked inside one of Grandpa's books. My name was written on the front in his careful handwriting. My heart pounded as I opened it. "My dear," the letter began, "if you are reading this, then you already know the truth. Your mother was never kind to you. I saw it. I heard the words she spoke when she thought I wasn't listening. And I will never forgive myself for not doing more to protect you." I swallowed hard, my hands shaking. I considered leaving her nothing, but I knew that would only make her crueler, more bitter. Instead, I made sure that you, my bright, strong grandchild, had everything you needed to break free. You deserve a life where no one dims your light. A lump formed in my throat. Grandpa had always been my safe place, but I never knew just how much he had seen, how much he had understood. I pressed the letter to my chest, my decision more certain than ever. I was leaving for good. But somehow Mom knew. Maybe it was the way I avoided her. Maybe it was the way I stopped reacting to her fake kindness. Maybe she just sensed that her grip on me was slipping. Because that night she snapped. "So that's it," she hissed, slamming a plate onto the counter. "You get a little money and now you think you're better than me?" I stayed silent, refusing to give her what she wanted. "You ungrateful brat," she spat. "After everything I've done for you, do you think you'd even be alive if not for me?" Her voice was sharp, but there was something else in it now. Fear. She knew she was losing. The next morning, the phone calls started. First from my uncle, then from a cousin, then from a family friend. "I heard you're refusing to help your mother," one said. "After all she's done for you, you're just leaving her behind?" another scolded. "You think money makes you better than your own mother?" Lie after lie, twist after twist. She was turning them all against me. But as I gripped Grandpa's letter, one thing was clear. I wasn't staying, and I wasn't backing down. I stood in the living room, my hands steady, my heart calm. Mom's face was twisted with anger, her voice sharp like a blade. "You owe me," she screamed. "After everything I've done for you, you dare walk away with my father's money?" I didn't flinch. Not this time. She kept going, throwing every insult, every guilt trip she could find. But her words were just noise now. They didn't hurt. Not anymore. I took a deep breath. "I don't owe you anything." Her eyes widened like she couldn't believe I had said it. For years I had let her words crush me, but today I was free. Without another word, I turned and walked out the door. For the first time in my life, I was leaving on my own terms, with my future, my dignity, and my grandfather's gift, one she could never take from me. Behind me, I heard her scream my name, but I didn't look back. She had lost control, and I had won. The mansion felt different now. It wasn't just Grandpa's house, it was home. My home. For the first time, I woke up without a weight on my chest. No insults, no guilt. No fear of being torn down, just quiet. Just peace. In the kitchen, I rolled up my sleeves and got to work. Flour dusted my hands as I kneaded the dough, shaping the dream I once thought would never happen. My bakery was finally real. I smiled, thinking of Grandpa. He always believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. Mom's words used to follow me everywhere, but now they were just echoes in a place I no longer lived. Revenge wasn't about proving her wrong. It was about proving myself right. As I stepped outside, feeling the warm sun on my face, I knew this was my new beginning. And for the first time in my life, I was truly free.
If you loved this twist, just wait. There's more where that came from. Watch the next revenge story now and see karma strike again. Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep the stories coming.